There are so many times that I have wanted so badly to be in my craft room crafting, and I just feel like I don't have the time. So today I'm going to share some tips with you on how you can get more time for your crafting and spend less time doing things you don't want to do, and be able to bulk create, mass produce, because those are the things. What I find for me myself is like the things I want to be doing in my craft room, often I get interrupted, or I just don't have the amount of time I think I need to finish something, so sometimes I just don't start. Also, I think one of the biggest things that happens is we kind of just get overwhelmed with where to start, and that can kind of like jam us up. But today I'm going to show you some tried and true tricks that have worked for me for many years now, so that I can spend more time in my craft room, more time creating. And these tips are going to vary all the way from household tips to business tips, because as you know, I do this for a living. Thank you, by the way, to all of you who have supported me all of these years so that I could do this for a living. But I have learned along the way that there are things I have to do to be successful at this. So I'm going to take you on that journey and just give you some of my best tips and tricks, and I hope it will help you get more time crafting. And if you do crafting as a business, these will definitely help you. So hope this helps. Okay, friends, this is my very first tip. It's in my kitchen. It's meal prep. I am telling you, meal prep is one of the very best things that I have ever found or done. And I don't just do this meal prep like by week, but I do stuff where I make big freezer meals so that I don't have to cook every night of the week. This recipe specifically is one of my very favorites. I make it almost every single week. It's extremely healthy. I take a couple of boneless, skinless chicken breasts, chop them up, dice them, not really diced. They're kind of like in 1-inch cubes. And I put them aside, and then we're going to fill these containers you see that I put over on that tray. This recipe is from Stay Fit Mom Krista, and I found her on Instagram, and I will link to her below. I'll link to this recipe actually below. I think I can link to it. Either way, I'll either link to her Instagram or to this recipe specifically. But this is one of her free recipes that she provides. It's called a chicken pesto bake. And I just think it's fantastic. And like I said, I make it almost every single week because it's really easy, and it gives me 5 meals that are balanced and healthy to have in my refrigerator. So the bowls that I use are 4-cup bowls. They are Pyrex, or I got some from a place called, I got some from Ross. I got some from TJ Maxx, but they're 4-cup bowls and they come with lids. So here I'm taking 2 tablespoons of rice, uncooked but washed, and I'm scooping it and putting it into each bowl. So 2 tablespoons into each bowl, and you can see I have 5 bowls here. And then if I have a little extra rice, I just kind of distribute it among the bowls. Not a big deal. And then each bowl will get a tablespoon of non-fat Greek yogurt. And I get this at Costco and have it on hand all the time because I use it a lot in cooking or making dips, different things like that. So 1 tablespoon of non-fat Greek yogurt in every bowl. And then I get this pesto from online, and I will link to this pesto. It is made with olive oil. So I try to avoid seed oils where I can and eat with healthy oils. And so it's kind of hard to find that in a jar, to be totally honest. This is not inexpensive, I'm going to tell you right now. But I can get 2 weeks worth of these bowls out of 1 jar. So I put a tablespoon of that pesto in each, and then a 1/4 cup of chicken broth in each. I'm out of my homemade canned chicken broth, so I'm using organic chicken broth from Safeway. And then I add in my raw chicken, and you're supposed to put 5 ounces per bowl, but I quit weighing it and just drop in however much
seems good to me. But when you first start doing this, you might want to go ahead and weigh it 5 ounces. So you need total 25 ounces of uncooked chicken for this. And then I add salt. I use Redmond real salt. It's mined in Utah actually, and I can link to that as well. And then I top it with some pepper and tomatoes. These are grape tomatoes that I just got from the grocery store because they're not in season right now. So I usually use one whole container of tomatoes and just split them up evenly through the bowls. And then on top of that, I add Parmesan cheese to each bowl. And that's it. The bowl is done. You don't have to do anything else except cook it. And then once these are cooked and they come out of the oven, they're beautiful, they're delicious, and you have 5 meals ready to go. I usually eat these for lunch every day. Sometimes if my family's eating a dinner that maybe has a lot of dairy in it or something like that, I will eat one of these instead, because just dairy doesn't really agree with me. But this is one of my huge time savers. It took me less than 30 minutes to make these bowls. I pop them in the oven at 350 for, I cook them for 55 minutes because I like my rice to be really cooked. So I cook them somewhere between 50 and 55 minutes and they come out looking like this. And they are absolutely delicious. I just find that if I check my emails first thing in the morning, sometimes I can get in a space where I'm spending lots and lots and lots and lots of time responding and or going down rabbit holes. And it also can mess up my mood for the day, which then can mess up my creativity and my crafting abilities. Because if I'm not in the right headspace, then sometimes it's hard for me to create. So one of the things that I try to do is wait until the end of the day to check my email, because then everything I needed to accomplish that day is already done and I can happily check emails and be in the right headspace to respond, and they're not slowing me down or causing me to lose time during the day when my family is not home. That is the other thing, is I can check my emails on my laptop in my house if I'm just relaxing and we're, sitting around the fire or not doing much that evening. Those are things I can do on my laptop. I can only create in my studio. So if I am not in my studio, then this is a task I can do when I'm not in there, versus I obviously can't create in my house because I don't have anything in there to create with. So this is one of my big tips, is trying to wait till the end of the day to check your email. And generally speaking, I have found that extremely useful. My dogs need to come in, and this is what takes up a bunch of my time during the day. Letting dogs in and out, even though they have a doggy door. Anyway, I just thought that was cute, so I thought I'd throw it in here.
One of the other ways that I save time for card making is to stay off social media. And I thought there was no better time than the present to hop on here and talk about that, because I just spent the last 20 minutes scrolling through Facebook. It is so easy to get on social media and just scroll and scroll and scroll, or get caught up in reels and different things like that. And honestly, it's just a time suck. So what often happens is I have a moment where I realize, like, oh man, you've been on social media for a long time now, you need to get off. But the best thing you can do, and what I've done in the past and what I still try to practice to do, is to set a timer, so that when if you want to go on social media and you want to spend some time on there looking at some stuff or checking in on things, or for me personally, I have to use social media for work. I'm going to be totally transparent with you. If I didn't run a business that relied on social media to connect with all of you, I probably wouldn't have it at all. I have found that truthfully, what ends up happening is I get into these like time sucks where I just go down a rabbit hole looking at stuff, and before I know it, I've looked at 100 dog videos and horse videos and whatever else, and all that time is just wasted and gone. The other thing is social media can be a really depressing, negative place. So I try to limit how much time I'm on there, but I get sucked in just like everybody else. So setting a timer is super helpful to avoid. I know you guys are really sad about it. My dogs are whining because the UPS man just came by. So I really try to set a timer to avoid getting trapped in that rut. And then when I notice that I've just been on it too much, I'll actually delete it from my phone and make it so I can only access it when I'm in my office or on my computer. And that helps a lot also. So I hope that helps in regards to social media. But I would rather spend time crafting than being on social media. And you'll gain a lot of time if you just put that down.
All right, here's another tip. I batch clean. So on like Sundays, or it's usually Sundays. Sundays are usually my day to meal prep and clean. And so here on this day, you can see I'm cleaning my stovetop because it was just disgusting. Like, it needed to be cleaned really bad. So my favorite way to clean my stovetop is to use the Barkeeper's, I don't even know what it's called. It's just called Barkeeper's, and it's like a white cleaning product. Now, 99% of my cleaning products are chemical free, but I have not found anything that works as good as this, that is a natural cleaning option to get my stovetop clean. So I do wear gloves and I put it all over the stovetop. I use a razor to get everything off that I need to get off. And then I go in with paper towels and sponges and clean it all off so that it's nice and pretty and neat, so that I have a clean stovetop. Having a clean home is really important to me. It's the same as having a clean craft room, which is also part of my tips for you for having more time to craft. If you put your stuff away in your craft room and you keep your craft room organized and clean, and your home organized and clean, it helps your brain stay that way. So you have more time for crafting. And then when you are crafting, or you are in your crafting area or space, you are not worrying about, where you put something. So I hope those tips helped you. This is kind of just an overview of all the little things I had going on this particular Sunday to help me be successful for my week.
Well, I hope this video helped you. If it did and you enjoyed it, hit the like button, subscribe. I would love for you to hang around and see the videos I produce and have for you. So I hope you found something valuable. Drop me a comment below and let me know what your favorite tip was and what you learned from this video. I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.